We're going to make some cookies today. It's Leisure Geezer here. And the kind of cookies we're going to make is a recipe I came up with. It's these right here. And look at them. I call them Pea-Oaties. They are a cookie that's peanut butter oatmeal with a chocolate center. And they taste great. And so I'm going to show you how to make them. So we're going to start here over at the mixer, and we put in a half a cup of butter, or a whole stick. And then that goes in the mixing bowl, like so. And it should be room temperature butter. And then we're going to put in a half a cup of peanut butter. I use a creamy, but if you want to have chunks of peanut in the cookie, I've never made them that way because I like them soft. But you can use a crunchy peanut butter if you really want more peanut in it. So I'm going to run the mixer for a minute to blend the butter and the peanut butter. You can see it just mixes the two. Okay, so you just mix the peanut butter and the butter, and then you add, let me check my recipe here, you add the sugars, half a cup of brown sugar, half a cup of white sugar, and that's about 100 grams of sugar, 100 grams of brown sugar, 100 grams of white sugar, and you put in the just make sure I don't screw this up here. Vanilla, a teaspoon of vanilla, and one beaten egg, room temperature. Get all the egg. Okay. Put that back in the mixer and mix it up. Want to get it well mixed, so we'll scrape the sides once here. Let it run a while. So after it's well mixed and kind of fluffy, we'll add the dry ingredients. So right here I have a cup and a half, make sure, a cup and a half of flour. I use bread flour, makes it a little chewier. 225 grams of flour. Add into that a teaspoon of baking soda and a half a teaspoon of salt. Remember, we used unsalted butter, so we use a little bit of salt. And then we sift this together. Sift pretty quickly. And then we add the flour into this. So just add the flour a little bit at a time like this. Scrape the bowl at least once, and then we'll have get the stuff off the bottom. Makes for a pretty tough dough. Then we add a half a cup of rolled oats. And that, it doesn't mix very well. So you have to kind of put the oats in a little bit by hand, because otherwise if you keep grinding it with this, it'll break all the oats down, break them all up. So it's best to finish the oats by hand. So what I do is I move the dough into this bowl here. It's a pretty stiff dough. You want it to be stiff. It needs to be stiff for it to work. So, get the rest of this dough out of here. Don't want to leave any behind. That'll do. And so what I normally do is I will get my gloves on now. That should form the cookies. So to do that, once you get your gloves on, and I can finish getting the oats incorporated in the dough. So we have a dough, pretty thick. And what we want to do to make the cookie, I use a gram scale because it makes the cookies uniform and it makes them easier to create. So you start by making 20 grams of dough, like that. We will make these here, 25. This is more the tedious part of it, but I find that it's very helpful to have it consistent. I'll start with just a half a dozen of them here. Okay. So right in here, we'll take a piece of this chocolate. I use Hershey's thin bars. It's 1.55 ounce bars. And just break off the little pieces. So I have a little piece of chocolate. And right here, and then on the hands, and I flatten this out, put the piece of chocolate in the center, fold this over, and kind of make a little, like a little loaf. See, like that. We'll make these. And that's pretty much all there is to it here. Just make these here. Little piece of candy in the center. You don't have to push very hard. Make a little loaf. Little bar around the piece of candy. So it makes the cookie a little kind of an oblong more than it is a round cookie. But that's because the chocolate is an oblong. So after I get a tray of these made, I just get a couple forks and just give them a little press to give them the traditional peanut butter cookie look. Don't have to press too hard, I did on that one. And this is what they'll look like when you get them on a tray. The chocolate in the center and the cookie. And we'll put them in the oven. I cook them on convection for, I do a whole tray. I do it in a convection oven, 350. Hey Google, set timer for 8 minutes.
Okay, 8 minutes, starting now.
Or you can do 375 on a regular oven. And then when they come out, you just want to cook them until they're just starting to turn brown on the top, on these little ridges. And you make a cookie. It's very tasty. It has chocolate in the center, a little bit of oat, and a little bit of peanut butter. So that's how you make these cookies. So thanks for watching.